This week in FGCD news. Okay, I know this is a little older, but I missed it because I wasn't here because I was going to Japan. They announced the official details about CPT news. The CPT details are basically, here's how you qualify in, here's what's going on, etc., etc. There's $2 million in prize pool now. They have announced, but they didn't say where. These are the locations offline this year for CPT. It starts in EVO Japan. This is something we knew already. Combo Breaker CEO, Blink, EVO France, Premier Asia, which they didn't announce, but last year, this is in Japan, right? And then they had a Singapore one as well, but I assume it'll be in Japan. And then Ultimate Fighting Arena, which is usually around October by my memory. And this is the qualifiers, how it works. Premier events have 8 players and also 6 players in on points. So the top 6 players in on points, there's a point structure system that gives points down to 25th per event by my memory. They also announced World Warriors back with 8 super regions. And the super regions are weird. We'll get to that in a second. The other qualifiers in are the winner of Capcom Cup this year, so Kakeru, the 4 championship players from SFL, which is the Japanese team, and then the 1 player from EWC. They also announced a 3-year partnership with EWC, so I'm sure everybody is excited / sad about, depending on your side. World Warrior region breakdown. This is the Asia super region for China. There's also Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau. This is a super region as well. Korea, Japan, Asia Southeast, which is like a ton of places here. Asia South, Oceania, Brazil, Central America West, Mexico, South America West, UK, Ireland, super region. How much did Broski pay these guys? What's going on here? France, Monaco, Spain, Portugal, Europe West, Germany, Europe Northeast, Middle East, South Africa, US, Canada East, not a super region, which is pretty wild. US, Canada, Midwest, not our super region. US, Canada, West, not a super region. Pretty odd. I don't really know why. Super regions mean you qualify in 1 extra player. They play the 5 events. At the end of the 5 events, the person with the most points makes it in, and then they have the finals, which is unlike everything else, where it's just they play the 5 events, they do the top 8, the winner makes it in. They had to cut down how many players made it from World Warriors because they added in players from SFL, the previous Capcom Cup winner, and EWC, and then the Premier Point winners. Yeah, it is very odd to not have any of the US spots be super regions, but then make UK Ireland one. I guess the idea is that because the Premier events are a lot more NA focused, that also makes up for the idea, right? I don't think North America feels that bad about losing their super region status, but it's more just like, why EU? It's just weird. Yeah, no South American spot is also odd. South America in general has lots of strong players, and previously when they did CPT before the pandemic, there were events in South America. I kind of wish that they just didn't have the 4 super regions at all, and then there was just 4 more offline events. Just saying. They also announced their partnership with EWC for 3 years. Capcom Cup winner qualifies for Esports World Cup, Esports World Cup winner qualifies for Capcom Cup, and vice versa. Yeah, I feel bad. I mean, not playing in an Esports World Cup is one thing because there's already a lot of money on the line, but then once they become intertwined, it becomes very hard to compete in the space in general, right? Because every tournament becomes an Esports World Cup / CPT qualifier, and they're just there. I think for someone like Chris, it makes sense to just not play and participate in Esports World Cup and then just like participate in the CPT parts of it. Just deny invitations to EWC if he wins any of them, but I don't know what he's going to do. That's up to him. For me, someone who's not going to do Esports World Cup as well, that's basically the way I look at it, is like, I just won't do any Esports World Cup, but the CPT stuff is the stuff that I'll do. I think he's also the only player I can think of who said they're not going to go on social media. I know some other people who didn't want to go not on social media, like they said something on stream. Like I think Broski didn't want to go, right? And I think Brian didn't want to go, ? For me though, besides EWC, my plan is to watch party everything I'm not at. I don't know for sure. I don't have details, but I assume I'll be at EVO Japan working the English broadcast. I should be at Combo Breaker. I'm not sure about CEO, but I'd like to go. And I'm not sure about Blink, but if I'm not there, I'll watch party it like I did this year. Watch party this. If I'm not at EVO France, I'll watch party that. If I'm not at CEO, I'll watch party that. If I'm not at this, I'll watch party Premier Asia. If I'm not at UFA, I'll watch party this. I saw you guys saying earlier that while I was in Japan, I got early access to Elena via Capcom. It's actually the opposite. I was like, Capcom, where's Elena? And they were just like, you'll have to wait. Nakayama pieced on you when you asked. No, literally, he was next to me. And I was like, I'm excited for Elena. And then he's like, oh, I got to take a business call. And he left. That's literally what happened. Other news. They released the song And there's a beta, another beta for Fatal Fury with training mode. It's next week. Excited to try out all the characters and stuff. It starts the 20th. Is it Friday that it starts? No, it starts the 26th. So we can play it starting next Wednesday, which is cool. If you do a combo to me that is really long within the first 24 hours of the beta, I will be reporting you for playing the crack. I'm going to know where you found that, all right? You have 24 hours before you can do something like that. Also, they announced this. Apparently, there was a stream for this. Really funny. They did an announcement of an announcement saying that Venom is going to be revealed this weekend at the Arc World Tour Finals. We already knew this, by the way, but they just showed off the visual of him. The real thing for me is I'm excited about the next two characters in this pack. Dizzy and Venom are cool. They're returning characters that I'm like not really that like. It's cool that they're coming back, but they're not my characters usually. But the next two characters I'm very excited for. Unica and Lucy are both. I don't know Lucy very well because I haven't finished the anime. I'm gonna watch it before she comes out. Venom himself, I think he looks dope. He's gonna be Venom. You're gonna ball summon and then shoot the ball and then pull up on them and then do close slash pressure into mad struggle or whatever. Like, you know, you're gonna be playing the game. You're gonna be smelling the game on this character. We all know what he's gonna be doing. And big news, we just filmed the next 2XKO Tuco Salamanca update. We're still working through edit, production, localization, etc. But here's what you can expect: a deep dive on our gameplay changes since Alpha Lab 1, including Jinx, some context and info on Alpha Lab 2, and a show match featuring the dev team. It's a detailed update that gets pretty in-depth, so the video is running pretty long, probably an hour or so. We're looking to get the update out during the last week of March. Literally, I was out of the country, so you know I'm not involved in this in any way. I was not involved. They showed like a little while ago some gameplay changes that were pretty different, and I mentioned that I got to go try the game around the Arcane reveal, and there's a lot of changes to stuff. There probably is changes since the last time I saw it, to be honest with you. A lot of the stuff that I saw, I think you guys will really like, and I think the direction of the changes you guys will probably also fuck with. You guys will probably be a fan of. And I like the Alpha Lab, but the Alpha Lab was not for most people. The Alpha Lab was like for me. Most of the people that I talk to who don't play fighting games, they tried to play it and they're like, this shit's impossible. So I think that a lot of the gameplay changes they make will probably be around helping that, right? The pulse changes that they made, those kinds of changes seem targeting towards them. So I think they'll like it. And yeah, I mean, Jinx also is exciting. They basically said, we want to do a big global test, and then something got in the way of it. So they're doing a smaller test now. My guess is like whatever framework they had to do the last test, they're just going to do the same thing. And then they'll probably do a bigger global test later, you know? That's what I assume. Thing about this game is coming out this year. Whatever state it's in, they're shipping it. You can't just push the game back. You know what I mean? I don't know anything that you don't know. It doesn't matter what's going on. This game will come out this year. They're just gonna ship it with whatever it has. Because if you guys play Valorant, they can release it with like not a lot of content and then just start adding stuff. Like I played Valorant and LOR in beta. One day it was just beta, and then the next day there was a patch and it was out, and like it didn't feel different at all, and they'll probably just do it like that. That's how I feel about like every game. Just like put the game out there for us to play it, and like I'm down to mash on it. Just put the game on the launcher a little bit. Would you say the same about Launch Street Fighter 5? Launch Street Fighter 5, first of all, it's a full price game, but second of all, like it had a rootkit, it had bad input delay, the online play was bad. Like that's basically like it didn't have anything good about it, and it was $60. Like this game, like think about just what the Alpha Lab was. Good online play, it doesn't have the input lag problems, and it's free. So that's like pretty important. I mean, it's like one of the big reasons why I'm assuming they're doing another test for SNK. They couldn't like connect other humans. Like this is a pretty big deal. I think both of these games are really fun. Like I think both are, the gameplay of them is quite fun. So as long as you can connect me with other humans and I can play them, I'm not really that worried. Street Fighter 6 is hard to beat for me right now as a fighting game because I can boot it up and play people, and the connections are good and it's easy to connect with other humans. Tekken kind of does it, but it takes forever for me to find a match by comparison. Grand Blue is the same kind of problem. If I play during my stream time, my connections are really far. If I play during non-stream hours, like after everybody's back from work, my connections are a lot better. Damn, Leffen can't make it to the Arc World Tour Finals because of visa problems. Visas are like literally the hardest matchup for every single person in fighting games. It's like always the hardest. Like it's not even just only going to US tournaments. Like going to Japan can be difficult, going to Europe can be difficult. Depends on your passport. Something that I have to think about for this year too, maybe. I'm gonna send some players around to some tournaments. So when I do, I have to think about this. Blasi needs the money. He has a team now. I don't think I'll need to send him somewhere because I think he's gonna get scooped up by somebody. Someone's gonna offer him a bag. I can't offer people a bag. I can offer them a trip though. What about this bag? I'll click your link. What the hell is a polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas? I was like not surprised to see that Brian got this offer. There's only so many big creators in the space who like play Guilty Gear or know about Guilty Gear. And then there's only so many people who are like adjacent, who are not primary Guilty Gear audience, but like their audience would be interested in Guilty Gear if you paid them to play the game. And then there's people who like their audience doesn't play Guilty Gear at all, but they have a lot of eyeballs. Those are like the three kinds of potential clients you can hire. He falls into the second category. I would fall into the first category, and then someone like Sea-Dog or Mighty Mouse might be the third category, right? They have marketing budget to spend on something like this, so they just make an offer to a bunch of different creators and then find who wants to do it, and then they do their spend and they do a stream like this. That's all. It's not that complicated. As someone in the space, how often do you think you get offered money to play a fighting game? It's almost never. So if any fighting game offered me a sponsored stream, I would basically instantly say yes, because it's like, finally, something that's in my wheelhouse, right? Like finally a fighting game. Like if Tekken offers you a sponsored stream and you're like a Street Fighter player, you're like, Tekken? Sick, I'm down to go try it. Because like, it's closer to what you actually play than anything else. So you'd be super down. You'd basically be instantly down to play it, right? I guess I play most of the other fighting games decently often, right? Like probably the only one I don't play a lot of, but I did the slams for it and I like it. So I really want to go back and watch Korea versus Pakistan. I haven't watched it yet, but I heard it was like fucking awesome. Like everybody was hyping up all the matches as being super good. So I want to watch it. What's the date on Tekken Season 2? It's just April, right? April 1st? Wow, okay. And then early May right here, this is already EVO Japan. And yeah, probably May or June. I'm guessing maybe like early June will be season 3 of Street Fighter 6. So we get Elena in April, and then maybe we get the balance patch or something in May or whatever. Vega is heavily implied in World Tour. I fucking hope not. Vega, Rog, Sagat, Fang would be the worst season. Ugh. I like Balrog. I think he's cool, but I think he's like the least cool boxer in Street Fighter. Did you guys see this?
Who is next?
They announced the last players for RBK, and Kakadu's on Team Legend.
Play-in champion. Last chance qualifier champion.
I like that they have like
Get your
5th and
tickets
6th. Okay.
now.
Who's Nyampi? She's a really, really, really sick Japanese player. She plays Aki now, but she played a different character before, right? Was it Marissa? What angle is this? For Noah, he doesn't look anything like that. Mena's Drewski looking ass in the art. Daigo's scary looking in his art. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to watch this live. I might try to restream this. The problem with restreaming this is that the time zones are so ass to restream it. It's fucked, because noon in France is 4 a.m. for me. I'm already tired as fuck anyway. Not only am I tired, but I have like such a busy, everything's so busy, there's not really a lot of downtime. I'll stream Friday to restream Arc World Tour Finals, and then Saturday, Sunday, I'm working Arc World Tour Finals. And then next week, like, I'll be working also, and there's like a lot happening. And then the week after that is potentially jury duty and like other stuff. There's just so much shit happening. Anyway, that's all the new stuff that happened while I was gone. Look at this guy. Think you own the place, bro? Think you own the place? You can just reach over and grab whatever you want.